Let's go through some mock drafts that for what we have for the first round. Maybe not full first, but the lottery. I
Okay.
think could be very
Yeah, let's do the lottery. I think that's
insightful.
enough.
Okay. All right. So I was looking at some stuff yesterday, and I think that a lot of this makes sense. So Zion number one is obvious slam dunk. That's just happening. There's nothing anyone can do to stop that. So the second pick, is there any chance the Grizzlies move off this pick? Is there any chance they trade the pick? Is there any chance they do RJ over John Morant? I would say those chances are slim to me. I still have said since it started, I think Morant's the guy number two for Memphis, and I think that Mike Conley's going to get traded.
You did. Mike Conley's definitely getting traded. I've been seeing that a lot lately.
Because once they draft Morant, there's no use for Conley anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that Phoenix Suns would be a great landing spot for Conley, potentially, because that team needs a point guard desperately. I also think Indiana and Utah would make a lot of sense for him.
That does make a lot of sense. I've seen Utah with
Utah needs a point
Mike
guard.
Conley, yeah.
So then third pick, Knicks. You guys, we have one job, and we better not fuck it up. All we have to do is take R.J. Barrett. Do not take Garland, who we have in for a workout today. RJ is the guy at number three. He's a top three player. At some point, he was even ranked ahead of Zion. So the Knicks could potentially get the top talent in this draft if he somehow exceeds expectations. And for the third pick, this is a gift. So Knicks, it better be RJ season in 2 days. Don't get cute. Don't trade the pick. Don't do Culver. Don't do Garland. No DeAndre Hunter. No asshole from Europe. Just freaking pick RJ Barrett, and do me a favor for once.
For your sake, I hope so.
Yeah, I mean that's about all I have to say about that. I'm sure you agree with a lot of what I just said, right?
Yeah, I think it makes too much sense. You get at three. I think R.J. Barrett is the guy for you guys. I think he could really help you guys out.
Yeah, we need a volume scorer, and that's what he is. So he can be a piece of the puzzle.
I think it makes too much sense.
Yes, the young assets, we would have RJ, Mitch, Knox, Dennis Smith Jr., Neil Aquino, although I wouldn't mind trading him, of course, because he's not very good. But Damian Dobson, that's on a young team. The youth is finally in place for the Knicks. I'm happy we didn't give up the assets for Davis. Like I said, the media is killing us because that's what they love to do, but I think it was actually smarter not to make this trade. I think it would have been like the Melo trade 2.0 potentially, not the fact that Davis is like Melo, but the fact that it would have gutted our team of all the assets we had left.
Yeah.
And I don't know what else would have came with Davis. Will we get Durant? Maybe. Will there be D'Angelo Russell now that there's the rumors with Irving and saying that Russell's out if the Nets get Irving? I'm sure you've seen that. How do you feel about that? I think we've talked about this a touch. We go off topic for a sec, but do you think that D'Lo's gone if they get Irving?
Yes.
I think so too.
I think the writing's on the wall. I think if Kyrie comes, there's no use for D'Lo.
That's what it seems like.
If we don't get Irving, I mean, and we keep
stay,
D'Lo, I'll be just more than fine with that.
Yeah, I think you guys will get him though. But like we said, we'll talk more another day about that. Free agency is the 30th. It starts at 6 o'clock. We're gonna have a show for that around that time. We'll do our final free agent predictions. Then we'll break down what happens once everything takes place. Number 4, it looks like the Pelicans are locked in on Jarrett Culver from everything I've seen. I actually think that DeAndre Hunter would be a better pick, but I think they're going to do Culver. I just think Hunter's a better shooter a little bit, offers a little more of the three ball. Culver's a good player and his defense is very good. DeAndre Hunter is also very good. So I think it's like apples and oranges at this point. Culver will still be a nice fit with the team, and so you're looking at a lineup of Zion, Culver, Lonzo. You got Ingram, and there's someone else. Who else is in that lineup? Wow. If they do Culver, Zion, Ingram, Ball, and Holiday. That's a nice starting five. That's not too bad.
No, not bad at all.
You could do a lot worse than that. And then the 5th pick, I think, is very interesting if it goes this way. The Cleveland Cavaliers has DeAndre Hunter, who I like a lot and I think should be picked 4th, but I could also see the case for Garland going here in the Cavaliers. The thing is that Garland and Sexton play the same position. They just drafted the point guard, but you can make the case that Garland's better than Sexton, but maybe they want to give Sexton more of a chance to grow.
Right.
And I also think that this is dead on. If Garland slips to 6, I think the Suns will take him in a heartbeat because they need a point guard desperately. This kid's very good. He's very underrated. I'm not I would be upset if the Knicks took him at 3 because I think RJ is the best player. But Garland's not a scrub. Don't get this confused. He is a very good point guard. He's very low key because he played at Vanderbilt, and I think the Suns would be a great fit for him potentially. Number 7, we have the Bulls getting Kobe White from North Carolina. You watched him play a little bit. Obviously, being a Duke fan, what do you think about that pairing with the Bulls potentially?
I think he could really help contribute. He's very, very underrated. I feel, in my opinion, he's a sharpshooter. I think as a guard, I think he could do a lot of good things with them. It really helps them out in the long run too.
Yeah, I agree, and I also think that Carson Edwards could be in play, although he won't go this early, I think. But I think he's being slept on, which I'll get to more later. And number 8, this is a big fall for your boy, Cam Reddish. At one point, they thought he could have been 4. In this draft, they have him going 8. I could see this happening, though, because I don't think he's as good as other people think. But what do you think about Cam? I mean, you've watched him more than me. Would you like to say some stuff on his behalf?
I mean, Cam Reddish is very, very underrated. I think he's a decent player. I think his talent was overshadowed by Zion and R.G. Barrett.
Okay.
So I think in a setting like Atlanta, I think where he could show what he could do, I think he can excel.
Yeah.
I do think that he should be picked higher than 8, but that's
he
just
might be.
me.
We'll see. I mean, this is just a mock.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know that obviously, but
no, I'm just saying.
yeah.
But I think this would actually be a good pairing. I'm not the biggest Cam fan, but if you put him with Trae Young and some lights out shooting together, and I think that could actually work because Cam wouldn't have to be the top option for Atlanta, but. I think maybe you're right. I just saw too many games he didn't show up. I wanted to see more from Cam. I thought he could have been better. I thought he got a lot of open looks from the boys, but he couldn't knock him down sometimes. I mean, he's a young kid. He's inconsistent.
Yeah.
Some comparisons, you would be surprised with this, but he reminds me of J.R. Smith a lot. Like, some games he'll light it up, and other games you won't hear from him. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not like the same demeanor or anything, but I think that would be an interesting pairing. The number 9, the Wizards. We got Sekou Diambua, an international guy from Limoges. He's a forward. I'm not going to pretend I know anything about him because I really don't.
Me neither.
But I'm guessing he's the best international player in this draft. And the Wizards are a hot mess right now, so if they want to swing for the fences and try to find someone like this, I mean, just go for it. The Wizards with John Wall is a mess. The only really good piece they have is Bradley Beal, so I don't know how that's going to go. Then the Hawks at number 10, again, with their draft picks. Also, like we've been saying, watch for Atlanta to be very active with trades. They're actively looking to trade these picks. They also have your pick now, which I believe falls around 17 or so. So Atlanta might be very active. But if they stay home, Jason Hayes is the pick at number 10. He's a center from Texas. I think this makes a lot of sense. They could use the center to pair with Collins, who's a very good power forward.
Yeah.
They don't really have a good center. I mean, Atlanta's team is coming together quite nicely and may have done a plan that the Knicks may have to unfortunately follow.
Yeah.
What Atlanta's done is take on some bad contracts and they've piled up draft picks and they've cleared cap. They've basically been the spot to dump contracts at. Like you guys dumped Crab's contract there. Like you might see more of this. Will the Knicks do this? Maybe. But Hayes could be a good fit for them at number 10. Then number 11, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are another train wreck. And now, a story with the T-Wolves. I don't know if you saw this, but the Timberwolves are aggressively shopping Andrew Wiggins.
I did see that, yes.
Which I think makes sense, but I'm not sure who's going to take that contract because I think he's a very overrated player. I've never really been a fan of Andrew Wiggins. He was traded for Kevin Love, and the Cavs obviously won that trade clearly because they won a championship doing that. But I thought Wiggins should have been way better. It just seems like he's not always checked in. It seems like he's another hot and cold guy. His talent and potential is there, but he just never seems to fully live up to it.
Nah, he really doesn't.
He was a top pick. He was from Kansas. You know, everything you want, like the top pick, like the school, the pedigree, the leaping ability. I mean, it's all there, the shooting when it's on, but he just doesn't consistently play good. You know, there's the issues with Jimmy Butler and Karl Anthony Towns and all that. So that's...
Maybe the Cavaliers saw something we didn't at the time, and now we're starting to see it too. That's why they traded him for Kevin Love.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's very possible. But they have them taking a power forward, Rui Hachimura from Gonzaga, and this would be a good pick. He was a very good player at Gonzaga. And it seems that they would, he has all the physical tools to succeed, and he has more rooms to grow as a scorer, which could help. And they think he's right around this area is where he'll go. And the number 12, I really like this pick. Charlotte Hornets for PJ Washington. I think this will be a home run if he makes it this far.
Yeah.
I think PJ has a case to go top 10. This dude looks like a pro. He always hits all his shots. He's a big shooter, rebounder. He was the best player in Kentucky. He single-handedly won a lot of games.
Yeah.
I think he's being a little undersold at this spot, actually. Do you think... I think the Hornets would be a great fit, obviously. I think Kemba Walker's probably staying, unfortunately. And this would be a great selection for the Hornets. Do you think that he could go higher than 12, or where do you think he'll end up come draft night?
I think that anything is possible at draft night, but I think around maybe 10 to 12, I think is about right. I feel, yeah.
Maybe like Miles Bridges
Yeah,
or something last
something
year.
like that, yeah.
So now Miami Heat, we only have 2 more picks in the lottery, but Tyler Hero, who's a guard from Kentucky, he was a freshman, and this can make sense. He's a good 3-point shooter. The Heat don't have many good 3-point shooters. Kentucky always seems to bring out great players into the NBA, so it's never a bad idea to pick one of them in most situations.
Yeah.
So in this situation, we got back-to-back Kentucky guys getting picked. And then 14, we got another international guy. I'm not going to pretend to say this. Bunzen Goga Bidadaisy from Budućnost International. And this pick is made via the Kings from the Celtics, and this guy and Horford also declined his option, so could he be on the move from Boston, or is he taking less money? Could this be the replacement for Horford because this guy's a center?
Yeah, it could be.
So maybe that's what they're thinking with this pick. And then that's the lottery for the most part. Like I said, I also think another prospect that intrigues me is Kevin Porter Jr. from USC, who they have going 20th. Like I said, I think Carson Edwards is being slept on. Another guy that's a wild card in this draft is Ball, the center from Oregon, he can shoot from 3-point range. He's a very good scorer. The problem is he has a lot of injuries. Once the big guys get the injuries, it's a very big gamble to take Ball. In this situation, they have him going 23rd, which I think is probably a bit too late for him.
Right.
But we'll see what happens with him. And Ty Jerome from Virginia is another solid guy late in the first round. You guys have the 27th pick to have you taking Bruno Fernando, a center from Maryland, who's a sophomore. I mean, you guys have Allen already, but it's always good to add talent, I guess. I'm not sure what else will be available at that point.
Yeah, usually...
At the end of the first round, it's really a crapshoot anyway.
Yeah, it really is.
So you might as well take a chance on whoever the best available is.
Yeah.
I mean, the Knicks got Mitch Robinson in the second round last year, so you can find gems in the second round. And like I said, Carson Edwards is being slept on. And in this draft, they have him going all the way to number 38 in the second round, which I think is way too late for him. I'm just going to ask you 2 quick questions about the draft.
Sure.
Who do you think is the biggest potential bust that's going to get selected? And who do you think is the biggest sleeper that people aren't paying attention to?
Well, I think that, in my opinion, the biggest sleeper, I'm going to go with who I really think is going to do well.
Yeah, that's not
honestly,
that might be picked too late. They'll exceed their pick.
That will exceed their pick. Okay, I think that, honestly, Jules,
who do you got for me?
I think this, what's his name? Keldon John, he's okay. He's, this is tough for me, really. I think this guy Nazir Little. I've seen him play, and he's pretty good. So I think him being mocked to 18 to the Pacers, I think he could be a real sleeper for them, and he could put up some numbers and do some great things for them.
He's a forward too, which is a position of need.
Exactly.
So, I mean, that could be a decent pick. I've heard that he's also been in play in the lottery, so that makes sense. So maybe he will get picked earlier than this. That's a good pick. And then, all right, so who do you think won't live up to it then?
Who won't live up to it, in my opinion?
Biggest bust? Maybe I'm going to challenge, say top 10 biggest bust, or top 8 even. Who do you think the biggest bust is in the lot? In the significant lottery picks, I'll say. Because I feel like the 10 is...
You want to call me crazy.
Yeah.
Darius Garland.
You just think he's going to be a bust?
I do.
Hopefully the Suns don't get him then for your brother's sake.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, he's been through a lot of heartache for a while, so he might be in.
I'm with him too, so I feel that.
Who do you think?
I gotta think. Actually, I'm not gonna say Cam because it's a lazy answer. I feel like.
I wasn't.
You know
gonna...
what? I'm gonna surprise you.
Who?
Culver.
Really?
I think he's gonna be. They're expecting too much from him. Because I watched him play at the end of the tournament. I wasn't really sold on him. Like, he had his moments, but there were a lot of bad shooting games out of him.
Right.
His defense is very good. That's not what I'm questioning. I'm questioning how he can score in the NBA, I guess.
That's a very valid argument about him. And you know what? I could see him being a bust.
I'm not saying he definitely will be, but it's something I think is possible.
It's definitely possible.
Well, anyone could bust, but I'm just going with that because I'm more sold on Hunter and Garland than I am Culver.
I think that Garland, I've watched him
No,
play.
you could be right.